YouTube. We are back with Angelo the Comic Guys, the Amazing Spider-Man 129. If you haven't checked out Angelo the Comic Guys channel, please do. And we're working on this for him. And last time, if you recall, what we did was we cold pressed the book and we rearranged the chads of paper that were by the staples. So what are we going to do now? What I want to do now is I want to remove the cover. As we know, the bottom staple is not attached to the cover. The top staple is attached to the cover. So right now, for our purposes, look at this, an example of some type of candy or some other foreign substance right here in the book. See, that came right off. We'll deal with that when we actually clean the inside of the book. Okay, so sorry for not dealing with the issue at hand. I got a little sidetracked. I want to take this staple off. And the way I like to do it, I've done it many times in the past, is I like to use plastic tools, various forms of plastic tools that you can use so you don't scratch the actual staple, which is a dead giveaway to CGC that there was some manipulation. Another way that I like to do it is basically just using sometimes my fingernail, and I get in there and I just hold one end of the staple down and I pull up just like that. Sometimes you can just use your hands. The hands are a wonderful tool. That's why we were created with them. And right there, I just used my hand without any other tools to raise the top portion of the staple. Now, this bottom portion of the staple is a little different where it is bent in. So I'm going to use a plastic tool just to get it up. Just to get it enough where I can go in there and I can use my hands and my fingers and pry it up. And right now I'm having a little difficult time doing it because I have to get close and I don't want to film the back of my head, so stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I did remove it. I got nice and close with my eyes, and one of the issues was the staple, or at least the bottom portion, was rounded in to the inner spine and it was pushed in to the paper. So that was the issue, but we got it out. We got it out, we took our time. So now what I want to do is I just want to push it through and take it out. So right here is the staple. Now this is the only staple we're going to take out for now. So then what else I do is I take my blue tape and I put T here, which means the top, because I want to keep the staple in the same position that we took it out of the book. And you see how that's rounded? I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but the bottom was rounded and actually pushed in. That's what was giving me the issue. So now I fold it, so I secure it like that so we don't end up losing it. And then I'll just take it and I'll tape it on to my workbench wall. And then right now, the cover should come right off. So here is the cover. And as you can see, there are many holes in the spine of this book. But we're gonna do our best, and this is the best way probably for the camera to pick it up. If you can see all of the green that is coming through. So the spine is not in the best of shape, but we're going to be able to work on it. So what are we going to do now? Now I'm going to go up and I am going to do a dry cleaning of this book in preparation of doing the Aqueous bath. We always do dry cleaning, but I just want to discuss something, because when you dry clean this type of book, a Bronze Age book, I know in the past I've shown that I used the white eraser on Golden Age books on the whole cover. It's not something that you should really do for Bronze Age books because they're not as durable as the Golden Age book. I will do some type of dry cleaning on the colors, but it may not be aggressive with the actual eraser itself. So stay tuned, and we're gonna go to time lapse. Okay guys, we are back, and I hope you enjoyed the time lapse for the Amazing Spider-Man 129 with me cleaning the cover with erasers. I'm gonna be honest, it really didn't come out that well. There wasn't much dirt on the book, and I have a sneaky suspicion that it may have been cleaned by the seller because not a lot came off. This is dirt that is penetrated over years with the book being loved. So our goal is we want to try to get this book squeaked in with a universal label. So we're not going to go crazy with the Aqueous bath. We are, however, going to wet clean it. And so far I've been successful with getting back universal grades with wet cleaning books. In fact, I even, as you recall, had books returned after I deacidified the cover with calcium hydroxide and methylcellulose, which is not bleach. But what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna wet the cover. And I'm going to wet the cover with a piece of Reme paper on top. And what am I using? I'll tell you what I'm using. I am using water, and I'm also using a mild detergent. Now people ask me, what is the mild detergent that I am using? And the answer is Palmolive antibacterial soap. So we're going to give it a nice soaking. And people also ask me a lot of times on Instagram, they want to know how come when I do the treatments, the Aqueous bath treatments, the covers are coming out very clean. And they try, and sometimes it doesn't come out as well as when I do it. So just to let everyone know, when I do this, I will sometimes wash the cover 4 to 5 times. I will go through the process. And I will concentrate on parts that I feel need more concentration. And that is why I feel I am successful a lot of times in doing this procedure. Another reason is you have to let the cover dry every time you do the process. You have to let it dry. You just can't do the washing and then do another washing and do another washing. No. You need to let it sit and you need to let it dry so you can concentrate on areas that you may not have hit in the past. So I'm going to take the top piece off of my paper, which we all know is Rehabilitation paper. You can get this from the Museum Services Corporation online. People ask me that a lot, and it's the Museum Services Corporation is where I get my Rehabilitation paper. I also am going to do right now with my artist brush, I am going to go over the white areas. Now I use different solutions that I am going not to disclose right now because sometimes I have to keep things to myself. And what I want to do is I want to go over with a brush the whites of the cover, and hopefully this will clean up the areas of the cover that don't look that nice. And I'm just going over the white areas, and we'll let this penetrate and we'll see how it turns out. I want to go along the spine because this spine is very dirty, but I also want to pay particular attention to the areas where the staples are because I do not want to loosen the paper by the staples because that is what I am going to use in order to reattach the cover, hopefully. And I'm only going to do this on the back cover because this is where the attention is needed, in my opinion, the most. Now, I don't like the way the spine is wrinkling. Oh, excuse me. I don't like the way the spine is wrinkling. So we're going to try something that I do. Don't try this at home. I want to try to straighten out the cover a little bit better. Just like that. Now be very careful. Like I said, don't do this at home. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put the piece of Rehabilitation paper back on. And then we're going to soak it again with my sprayer. The sprayer that I use, if you're interested, is from Amazon. And what this is a plant sprayer. So just Google or search Amazon's plant sprayer and it comes up. Very inexpensive. Let's give it another wetting. And we're gonna let this soak for about 15 minutes. Then I'm gonna come back after 15 minutes and then I'm gonna put the suction on and we're gonna see if we can draw out some of this dirt. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, it's been soaking in my solution for about 15-20 minutes. And then I also periodically use my other solution and I wipe the whites down to try to remove some of the staining. Now, we don't want to go crazy with it. You just rub it in and let it penetrate, and it will definitely, hopefully, lighten up the whites. Okay, now, what do I want to do? What I want to do next is I want to start the suction table to try to draw out the stains and the dirt. Okay, so we're going to get noisy, everyone. I know a few people like the sound. So I'm going to put it on and we're going to try to draw out, like I said, the dirt. So let's get going. Wait 1 second. I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. Now this is after I did the suction table. Now I'm doing something right now that I am experimenting on and I'm going to share with you. As we know, the bottom staple is ripped. So what I'm doing is I am doing methyl cellulose treatment. And I'm taking the methyl cellulose gel that I make, and I am gently incorporating it into the paper where the chat is of the staple to strengthen it so when we reattach the cover. Now what I am doing is this on a repeated basis, and then I am rinsing it out. Now I feel that it will absorb into the fibers of the area in question and strengthen the staple holes so I could better secure the cover. And I don't think it will be detected because it will be rinsed. So stay tuned, YouTube.